Hello, my name is Renee, and we have 4 young children. Our eldest is 6, and our youngest is 2. Uh, and this video will be about the hormonal imbalance that I experienced at the beginning of this year. So this video will just be about my story and my experience. The second video I'll talk more about the science behind how it works and how your hormones work and what they're meant to do and the signs and symptoms of what different things can mean, and what things may help and what I found help. Because back when it was happening to me, I was trying to find other people's stories. I was trying to research because I saw the GP and the gynecologist, but they didn't really help. And yeah, so that's why I want to share my story and what happened with me. So I weaned our 4th back in October last year, 2019. And so for some women, breastfeeding suppresses ovulation. The hormones you produce when you're breastfeeding suppress your menstrual cycle. And that's the case for me when my babies breastfeed well. So after I weaned him, I had a normal cycle, normal-ish cycle in October and November last year, but December 2019 was when things kind of went really crazy. So I was having cramps, so since having children, I get really bad ovulation cramps after our 4th, it's been for a good week or 2, really bad cramps. And then when this cycle started in December last year, I had really bad cramps to the point of feeling worse than labor contractions. And I started having very heavy bleeding. I was changing super pads or overnight pads or super tampons every 60 minutes to 2 hours, averaging mostly at 90 minutes I was having to change. Otherwise, I had to change then. So in December, when it first happened, so I had been bleeding like that for probably 24 hours, and I started to get really faint. I started to feel really sick, and shaky, and just really weak and tired. So that probably stopped after 2 days of that, and then I proceeded to spot and bleed for 10 days. I saw the GP, and she prescribed 2 medications that they use to one slows down the bleeding and the other one helps with pain. But I didn't fill the script straight away because I'm not a big fan of drugs and just putting a Band-Aid solution on the symptoms. But come January, when it happened again, I tried to trudge through, and by day 2 of having that kind of heavy bleeding happening, I started to feel shaky and cold and faint, and I started to feel very sick. So we went to the chemist and got the medication, and it helped, and obviously kept me from having to be hospitalized, because I just kept praying, Lord, I don't want to go to the hospital, please help me, I don't want to go to the hospital, because I've just had some past difficulties and traumas through some things with the hospitals. I'm not against them, they are life-saving, but I've just had some not very good experiences. So I had to use the medication probably until April this year, 2020, but also between my cycles, so from ovulation until you bleed, before I bled your period, I was feeling like I was going crazy, like literally felt like psycho. And I've never ever been that low before, that in a scary place before. And yeah, so, and the reason why I knew it was something beyond what I've experienced before, or beyond, normal, and why I knew it was kind of more physically related, is because for 2 weeks I would feel fine. Once I started bleeding, I'd feel fine and normal. The pressures of our crazy life with 4 little ones didn't bother me as much, and then as soon as I'd ovulate, I just could not control myself and was locking myself away, literally, to just try to get through each day, and the panic attacks and everything. It was really, really hard. That's why we decided to put our children in school instead of homeschool for this year, just so that I could get on top of things and get through what we were walking through. So the other symptoms of the hormonal imbalance I was having was, tender breasts and the crazy cramping, the heavy bleeding, which I already described, and the mental health stuff, the nausea, the fatigue, so normally most women, your cervical mucus has a particular pattern to show fertility, and for the first time in my life, mine was all over the place and was, just really not what I've experienced before. But the GP and gynecologist so the GPs don't really do thorough testing. You have to go further quite often, unless you know what you're asking for, to show a hormonal imbalance, which you can find out what to ask for, which I can discuss in the next video. So they just wanted to give me the pill, which, again, if you like that or want that, I'm not here to tell you not to use it. For me personally, I didn't want to further risk my gut health, my gut microbiome, because mine was already kind of all over the place with, so I just personally didn't want to do that at the time. But come June, when I finally saw the gynecologist and got some further testing done, we also conceived. But my blood test results from that did show I had high androgens, so some higher male hormones, which we will be retesting soon. So it's now November 2020, so hopefully, we'll retest again soon. But when we conceived in June, we ended up losing that baby, so the baby stopped growing, or the heartbeat stopped at 9 weeks, and we miscarried at 12 weeks. That's a whole nother video, but I think we lost that baby due to what was happening with my physical health, and everything that was going on. So that's the basis of my story. My experience with the hormonal imbalance, and I hope to make another video just describing in more detail the actual science behind it all, which is very interesting through the research I've done. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that you can know that the symptoms you may be experiencing are not normal, and unfortunately sometimes we have to fight for our health and fight for our rights and fight for help. So that's why, again, I'm sharing this story. You don't have to accept just a band-aid solution if you don't want to. There are other ways that people have healed their bodies, because our bodies were created to be able to heal themselves, obviously where possible. I hope this helps, and thank you for listening.